You might heard a web series that goes by the name of Super Mario Logan, and I'd pretty much not explain all of the description. It's basically an adult plush series with what used to be Nintendo characters. As if I'm familiar with, especially the controversial character Jeffy. The show did have a few disturbing episodes, but I did find this really fucking weird one back in 2017 and I couldn't find it, since the channel was terminated. I think I was 12 when I saw this episode on the channel. I couldn't exactly remember if it was a short, but it might have been a movie or some sort. I used to go to a voice chat site or something that makes me contact with other friends, mostly from my school. I couldn't remember what the name of the site was, but it was like Discord, if you ask me. That was when I met a 15-year-old male while playing Call of Duty Ghosts that time. I think he was from Minnesota and yet he was somewhat of an introvert. I normally don't view a lot of SML anymore due to Jeffy. Jeffy was an abominable piece of shit nobody likes, and I'm surprisingly one of them. Most people who were a fan of the character were likely at the age of 13 and below, and I'm surprisingly one of the people who hates this character. The 15-year-old friend was somebody whose I'll name Ethan just for the safety of it. I haven't talked to Ethan since a year ago, but I would constantly chat with him at a website like what I said was like Discord. I just can't remember the name of the website. He lived with a family and a loudmouth brother. I can't recall what his name was, but all I know is he pulls some stupid pranks in the neighborhood. Ethan had a friend with him who also chats. I'll call him Charlie for the sake of it. Ethan would bring in Charlie to react to videos and stream it, just like Discord would nowadays. Yes, Ethan streams SML, and I do hate the fact there are Jeffy videos. Let's not get into too much detail and get into what happened. One day, it was me and Ethan talking in the chat on about how Super Mario Logan went downhill and such. If I could remember correctly, he wanted to introduce me to a playlist of SML episodes that were surprisingly unlisted. The playlist was titled SML Unlisted Video 3, and the list includes the book Jaws, Jeffy's Wallet, Junior the Philosopher. It seemed like an unfinished playlist. If I could remember, there were a few deleted videos. Ethan showed us all the 4 videos and we sat through. They were fine, nothing too special about them. If I could remember, the episodes didn't have thumbnails but were surprisingly normal. Hey dude, found another playlist, Ethan said. I said back to Ethan, cool. What videos do we have? The stream was still running. I continued viewing it as I sat through playlist 1, as if I and Ethan gained curiosity as in what this is. But there were like 211 videos on the playlist, and to my disappointment, these were the titles. SML Movie, Shrek's Cracky Wish Part 2, 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 SML Movie, Jeffy's Evil Wish, 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 SML Movie, Jeffy's Peanut Butter Sandwich. Christ man, Ethan said. Most of the videos on the playlist were either sequels or Jeffy videos. Like I said, I'm not into Jeffy and just how absolutely terrible the character is. But I found this one episode of the web series that caught my eye. And it didn't involve something like a sequel. It may have featured Jeffy in it, but my best hope is that it doesn't involve him that much. This episode was titled Right Back at Ya. I said to myself, right back at ya? What's that supposed to mean? We went ahead and streamed the video to react to it. Oh boy, what the fuck have we witnessed? The episode starts off normal with the same music yet. Outside by Jason Farnham, Mario and Rosalina were watching television. I cannot recall the memories on what they're watching. Mario told Rosalina to check on Jeffy in the kitchen, if he will eat his green beans or not. Once Mario came to the kitchen, seeing Jeffy not eating his green beans, Mario calls Jeffy a bad boy. Jeffy, being the whiny little douchebag as he is, starts to break down. Mario then doesn't feel any empathy for Jeffy and further on to even slap him. My best guess of slapping him is because of him being so tired of the fact he's been like this since. Jeffy breaks down even more, which caused an annoyance towards both of us, but we decided to continue watching it. That was, until Junior came along. Jeffy assists Junior on wanting revenge on Mario, but not in a harmful way. Junior had the perfect idea to scare him by wearing something. Junior thought it was a good idea to wear this mask that represents a horse. You know, those horse masks that are painted well dunely with those weird looks on their faces? Yeah, he wears it. While he wears the horse mask, Jeffy sneaks behind Mario and scares him with the horse mask. Jeffy yelled right back at towards Mario. Mario, being startled, begins to tell Jeffy not to do something like this again. And Jeffy said okay. Jeffy then goes back to Junior saying this didn't work. Junior thought of a better idea of a clown mask. Jeffy thought it would work and went into the living room. There, Mario and Rosalina were yet again watching television until attempts to scare them by saying right back at point, which didn't work. Me and Ethan were bored, but still watched the episode anyway. Jeffy, in full-blown disappointment, and yet again told Junior this. Junior told Jeffy that he had another great idea, but we didn't get to see what Jeffy was wearing, because the scene cuts back to Mario and Rosalina in the kitchen. Mario and Rosalina were pretty much feasting on spaghetti until something happened. Ethan yelled out, "What in the actual fuck?" I was checking out with the dog, in case the dog went to the restroom inside my house. But I heard Ethan. I told Ethan what happened, and Ethan responded by saying Logan decides to put that in. If you don't know what he was yelling about, think about Jeffy's clothing, but much worse. Jeffy was wearing women's underwear. I shit you the fuck not, this was in the episode. How do I put this in words? I believe Jeffy was a minor during the time, and he was disabled. In this episode, Logan decides to make things not any better by letting Jeffy wear women's clothing. Me and Ethan were disturbed by Jeffy's clothing before, but like I said, him wearing this makes things 10 times worse. If you don't know, Jeffy wore that because he wanted to creep Mario and Rosalina out. The worst part was, I believe it was Rosalina's clothing he was wearing. Mario angrily yelled at Jeffy and calling him a terrible kid for grossing Mario out. Jeffy was getting pissed, of course, and threw a temper tantrum in the room. He would, of course, make a mess. This would surprisingly anger me and Ethan, of course. Mario was getting more pissed as usual. He wanted to do something with Jeffy as well without harming him. I could agree with Mario if I or Ethan was in a situation like that. What is the point of adding Jeffy in this show? Doesn't Logan realize that this is a terrible character and that, unlike Junior, who's an actual kid, decided to make Jeffy be some sort of disabled person? Doesn't he realize that this is something not to be made fun of? Anyway, I'll stop talking. We continued watching so we could see some potential karma coming straight to Jeffy, since he made a huge mess in Mario's room. Mario wanted to creep him out. He assists Chef PP to create one of the creepiest things you can ever imagine, and oh boy, he did. The next scene cuts to Jeffy in his room, as me and Ethan can see the shoes of Mario and that he came to the room. When the camera panned up to Mario's face, what I said was just creepy as Satan. Well, it's not a demon mask, nor it was a clown mask. It was a pig mask that just looked weird, creepy and outright pure uncanny looking. Let's say the mask was like an animatronic head Logan bought. The way it moved and the way it would blink, it just creepy. It looked as if the mask had actual teeth, which I doubt was the case. And when Mario spoke, the mask would open its mouth like it was actually talking. Mario then began to chase Jeffy to actually scare him, and it was a success. He would yell out right back at with the mouth movements, of course. Mario scared the ever-living shit out of Jeffy with that freaky-looking pig mask. Mario took the pig mask off and revealed himself, while Jeffy was just traumatized on what he saw. Rosalina yells at Mario, and Mario then apologizes to Jeffy for what he did. But where did Mario get that pig mask? Well, let's say after the conversation with Mario and Rosalina, there was a cut of a video on what appears to be a puppet inside a closet. Upside down, gagged, and is about to be tortured. I get to see another puppet with the same mask in some black jumpsuit. The pig mask was on in what sounded like Brooklyn TI. The episode ended with a cliffhanger. Me and Ethan weren't really terrified, but we wanted to know what actually happened afterwards. A year later, I went to the SML wiki to see what the episode was about, and it appears that there was a video on Wikipedia and it gave an explanation on the ending. Basically, it was a debut to the next Super Mario Logan episode, The Secret Door. So basically the puppet who was about to torture was Brooklyn T. Guy's twin brother. Which was really surprising, since we saw right back at Guy around at least May 8th. I don't really know why this episode was even lost, but my best guess it was probably a big spoiler. Anyway, I was amused by it, especially with that creepy-ass mess Brooklyn's brother wore, and how Mario used it. Pretty spooky, eh?